What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. We discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below right now, as it's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on our new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. We're less than 50 subscribers away from 400,000 subscribers. So make sure to subscribe right now. Remember, it's completely free to do so. I will keep you up to date with everything stimulus related, daily news, and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. And right now, inflation is just going crazy right now. And the problem here is that the war in Ukraine is exacerbating the gas prices. And the longer this goes on, the longer the gas prices are going to stay high. And the question is, how long is that going to be? How long is this going to drag on? Is Putin ever going to stop? Are we going are we going to have to force him to stop? Us as in the US, NATO, and the EU. Will he ever stop? All these are good questions, right? Look at what just happened yesterday. This is sick. Russia took 500 hostages at the Mariupol hospital in Ukraine. Civilians, doctors, patients, nurses. Literally every day they hit a new low, Russians and the army. And I'll get to the next story here in a moment, which is just like, again, you think that this is the new low, but it's like every day I'm reporting a new story, and it's like, can we get any lower? And you're like, oh yeah, wait, we can get lower. It's like every day it's a new low. It's just a new war crime every single day. It's really, really sad and pathetic. And it's just like, at some point, the world is probably going to have to step in and stop this. And the question is, how long can they let this go on? Yeah, you can see here, Russian troops seized control of a hospital in the city of Mariupol and are holding about 500 people hostage, according to the Ukraine regional leader. And that Russians drove about 400 people into the hospital. 100 doctors and patients were also inside, he said, adding that no one is allowed to leave. They're using the hostages as human shields. It's impossible to leave the hospitals as they are shooting hard. He urged the world to respond this gross violations of the norm and customs of war. These are crimes against humanity. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. They have destroyed a children's hospital, and residents are facing shortages of food, water, heat, and medicine. Yeah, it's really sad, really sad. And again, it's just every day I feel like Putin is stooping to a new low. And I feel like we're going to have to stop him. Ukraine is just playing defense. Someone's going to have to step in and stop him at some point. I know that no one wants to start World War III, but are we just going to let this go on? Is NATO going to let this go on? Is all of Europe going to let this go on? And for how long? Are we going to be sitting here a week from now and this is going to continue? Are we going to be sitting here a month from now? Are we going to let this go on? And then here's the next story. You can tell me which one you think is worse. It's sad that we are doing this, but check this out. A captured Russian pilot says that he was ordered to hit civilian targets. There's video of a Russian pilot apparently admitting he had been ordered to bomb civilian targets and has been widely shown on Ukrainian media. During this press conference, the Russian pilot gave his name as Maxim Krishtop, described how he learned of his orders, which he carried out before being shot down on March 6th and was captured by Ukrainian forces. He says, in the process of completing the task, I realized that the target was not enemy military facilities, but residential buildings and peaceful people. And listen to what he says here next. But I carried out the criminal order anyway. Khrushchev, a lieutenant colonel and deputy commander of the 47th Aviation Regiment. He said he carried out 3 bombing missions in Ukraine, some of which involved deploying FAB 500 Soviet era airdrop bombs with high explosive warheads. He says, I recognize the enormity of the crimes committed by me. I want to ask forgiveness from the entire Ukrainian people for the misfortune we brought them. I will do everything in my power to end this war as quickly as possible and bring those responsible for the genocide of Ukrainians to justice. He concluded by saying, I think we have already lost this war. And I also urge military personnel of Russian Federation to stop carrying out military crimes against the peaceful people of Ukraine. This is a Russian pilot saying this. Yeah. This is what's going on over there. This is what's going on over there. Think about this. This is the severity of this is the severity of the situation. And honestly, the whole peace talks thing, does anybody believe that Putin and Russia is going to come to peace talks? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the only way peace talks are going to happen is when they physically can't continue anymore. Whether that's financially they can't continue anymore, or they don't have enough supplies to continue anymore, or something along those lines. It's really, really sad. And just think about what is happening to the people of Ukraine and the country of Ukraine. And again, they're just playing defense. They're just like, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And then this is the problem here, is that inflation, the price of gas, the price of oil, is just being completely just rocked in the US and across the world. It's not just the US, guys. It's across the whole world. The price of oil is going up across the whole world. The price of oil is literally global. It's there. Almost everybody pays the same price across the whole world, unless it's like the Saudis and they're just not importing it. They're just just keeping it for themselves, right? Anybody that buys oil on the global market is relatively paying the same price. Of course, they're paying it in their own currency, so it could be different there. But look at this headline here. Prices of goods in the U.S. jumped a record 2.4% just in February alone. Just in February alone. So let me equate what this means here for you. Okay, this is just for 1 month, guys. This is just for 1 month. So 2.4% times 12 months, that's the equivalent to 28.8% inflation for the price of goods if this were to happen every month. This is how bad inflation is right at this particular moment. And honestly, it's probably worse in March right now. This is how bad things are right now. Yeah, here's what it says. Supplier prices for goods rose 2.4% in February, the biggest jump since data for the metric was first calculated more than a decade ago. Most of the increase was due to a spike in energy prices, according to the Labor Department, which noted a 14.8% rise in the index for gasoline. Disregarding food and energy, so if you got rid of those two categories, supplier prices for goods rose 0.7%. Again, that's just for 1 month. So you would have to calculate this over the course of 12 months. The overall price producer index, which includes both goods and services, was up 0.8% in February. So remember, even if it was just 1% in February, that would be 12% inflation for the year, leveling off a 1.2% increase for January. The index has risen 10% over the past year. The advances come off as the commodity markets continue to react to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, as well as new pandemic virus lockdowns announced in China. Yeah, and I reported that to you as well. China had locked down a city of 9 million, which is like the size of New York City. Now they have 37 million people in lockdown. And these are complete lockdown, guys. Nobody's allowed to leave their house except for one person per household every 2 days just to go out to get food and supplies. This isn't like the type of lockdown that we had here in the US. This is communist China lockdowns. 37 million people are in lockdowns in China. Imagine being under that type of lockdown. Imagine if all of New York City, which has around 9 some million people, depending on if how much you include of New York City. Imagine being under that type of lockdown. That's like a full-blown lockdown, like you can't leave your house type of lockdown. They only allow someone to leave every 2 days, and then you can only go and get food, come back. It's like a communist China lockdown. Imagine the type of protests we would have here in the U.S. if they implemented that. Imagine if Trump or Biden implemented that. Imagine what people would be saying, right? Imagine what people say about Biden or Trump now. Imagine if we had a lockdown like that, what people would say. Yeah, I can only imagine, right? I can only imagine. Biden and Trump both had a less than 50% approval rating right now. They both had a less than 50% approval rating after their first year. Imagine if they implemented a full-blown lockdown like that, like they have in China. And China, they're just like Russia. They control what the news outlets say. They have controlled media. It's just a different world out there, guys. Freedom over there is very, very different. In fact, this YouTube channel wouldn't even exist, right? They wouldn't let me say what I say here. There's no freedom of speech like I have here on YouTube. In fact, YouTube has been banned in Russia. Facebook has been banned in Russia. Instagram has been banned in Russia. Everything's been banned in Russia. China's banned a lot of those websites as well. They don't want you seeing the truth. They just ban the websites. Sorry, banned. Can't even access them. Yeah, there's no freedom of speech. You have to watch the government-controlled news stations. You only can see what they allow you to see. Yeah, so imagine what life will be like in one of those countries. Kind of makes you, kind of makes me at least feel like I'm glad I wasn't born over there. Because I think life could have been very, very different. Yeah. And what's crazy is that you might not even know how life different could have been. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts. It's an interesting kind of way to think about the world. But honestly, like I said, I don't think there's going to be any winners in this war. Uh, it's just not a fun time right now. Inflation, gas prices, the price of everything. Um, and if you've been watching my videos here, we got a lot of different states stepping up to the plate. We have a potential stimulus checks that could be issued quarterly from taxing oil companies, coming from the Democrat proposed bill that would do exactly that. It would tax the oil companies and post huge profits. Or I'm sorry, that it would tax the huge profits from the oil companies and redistribute it to the Americans because they're just getting away with, well, you know what they're getting away with. They're gouging Americans, right? And I mean, you think about over in Russia and over in China, lawmakers there don't say things like this. They don't say, "Oh, these companies are gouging our citizens. We want to take their profits and give back to Americans." Those companies are owned by the government, right? Like they don't have bills like this. Those companies are owned by Russia. They're owned by China. You think that that they're worried about helping out the people and lowering the price of gas and putting more money in your pocket? No, the oil companies are owned by the government. Like just think about that for a second. Yeah, and it kind of really changes your perspective about things that over there the government's literally controlling everything. So they're controlling the gas companies, they're controlling the media, they're controlling everything. So yeah, it's just a completely different world over there. No freedom of speech at all. There's no YouTube channels. There's no speaking out against the government. There's no, speak out against Democrats, speak out against Republicans. You can't do any of that. It's it's crazy. Yeah, you can let me know your thoughts here, but yeah, it's just quite a weird way of thinking that you can't do any of that stuff over there. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts. I'll keep you up to date here with everything and how we're going to get this inflation under control, how the government is going to try to help out the American people here. We got a lot of states doing the same here as well. Make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on any new videos. Tune in at those times and I will keep you up to date. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And you can click here to see a new proposal for $1,100 stimulus checks that could be distributed more than once. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.